Dustin Young 86 here, aka the Real World Champion, here with another video. I have run out of BCAs to uncard for you, so I have decided that I will finally make that custom video that a lot of you have been asking about. I have about 20 customs here sitting next to me that I made by myself. No help, no part list or anything. I decided that came from my brain myself, that I decided to put together, and you know, just things that I like, things that I wish that Jakks had done, but because they didn't, I did my part in making them myself. These feature no paint except for maybe Big Show. I will tell you how I made them. I will go through and review them a little bit here and there. Give you the part choices and why I chose those parts if relevant. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if there's something you want to see, if there's something I missed. If you have any questions about any of these, please, feel free to ask. I don't get better without your comments. So, let's get started. I think we're going to start with the Mankind from the previous video. Let's see if we can get this camera right. Okay, here we go. Here's the Mankind from the previous video. As you saw, I went and made this Mankind with using Road Dogg Jesse James lower body and the upper body from the Raw's War Mankind. I switched out the brown tights and gave him black sweatpants. It reminds me of the Hell in a Cell Mankind. There's a whole video on this, so you can check that out if you have any questions on how to make a custom figure. That video's up on my page. If you have any questions there, just feel free to hit me up. I have no problem helping out, or if there's something you need to see specifically, I have no problem shooting a video for that as well. Just if I don't know you want to see it, I can't make it. So this is Mankind, obviously. So you can, now I feel like he's ready to be, just thrown off the Hell in a Cell, just straight up. Next up, we have a new BCA, Ric Flair. This is a simple head swap. I just took a Titantron Ric Flair, threw him on a Stone Cold Steve Austin body. I did not paint the legs or the I did not paint the legs, did not paint the torso, did not paint the tights. I didn't even put the RF on the tights because I didn't really see a point, because it's just a quick fix. There's no BCA Ric Flair, and I wanted one, so this is him. Next up, we have an Undertaker. This one's just another quick head swap. This is a Backlash Undertaker with this Undertaker logo on the side with the Road to WrestleMania head. I love this head. I think it looks a lot like Undertaker. I wish there was a bandana across here, or even if I had a bandana I could take off, that would work too. I guess I could buy one, but I don't care that much. I took an elbow pad from a Jakks Ruthless Aggression figure, so he would have his one elbow pad that he's famous for. So yeah, this is my BCA Undertaker. I believe I thought he had bone crunch in his arm. He doesn't in his leg either, so, well, made me look like a fool. Next up, we have a Big Show. This Big Show is made from a Road to WrestleMania Undertaker upper body, or whole body actually. I bought it, and one of the legs had no jean color, like wash on it, so it looked weird with one black leg, and I was planning on buying another Undertaker anyways. And I saw this, I bought the new BCA Big Show because I wanted a better Big Show than the one that they had done in the first line of BCAs. So I went out and bought this one, and I switched the head from that Big Show to this Big Show. I took the line down from the cut from the tank top down a little bit. Just a simple head swap. Took the tattoos off. Cleaned up the wash from the other leg. So now now both legs match. They just look like black slacks. Big Show is I kept this little bit of tattoo because it kind of looks like his. Kind of looks a little bit like the lion. I know it's not that, but I have an imagination, so it works. This is my 2003 Big Show. Let's stick with the new style BCAs. This is the Kurt Angle I previously spoke about in another video. with his super cool ass tattoo. I just glued this up a little bit to make the singlet a little bit tighter. The singlet and the knee pads match, as you can see here and here. He does have the cool ass tattoo. I swapped the head from a Backlash BCA Kurt Angle and ended up with a bald BCA Kurt Angle. Pretty proud of it. I actually like it a lot. I think this is probably my favorite Kurt Angle now for the Jakks figures, considering he has his tattoo, which no other Jakks figure ever featured. I believe the singlet came from a Titantron Series 7 or Series 8 Kurt Angle. Oh, and this is Bone Crunching Superstars Kurt Angle under the singlet. Next up, we have a simple Matt Hardy to go with the Jeff Hardy, because if you make a Matt Hardy, you have to have a Jeff Hardy somewhere around. So what I did was I took I believe it was a Backlash Rock, swapped the torso with a Chris Jericho, which you'll see the parts that I saved later in this video. Switched the torso from a Chris Jericho, and the boots were all white, so I went ahead and acetoned it down, left the inside of the boot white and black on both sides like he used to wear back in the day. This is I think it's a pretty good representation of Matt Hardy, considering all things. So either way, Matt can now team with Jeff, and this is a TTL Matt Hardy head, Jericho Road to WrestleMania torso, and Backlash Rock pants. Still sticking with the new style BCAs. These were actually made as prototypes, and they never came out. So I went ahead and made my own using the torso from that previously spoken of Rock, and the Chris Jericho previously that I said I took the torso from for Matt Hardy, and I made my own APA. As you can see, I don't know why Bradshaw's head's all lopsided like that. I never noticed that. I mean, you can tell, but you kind of can't tell. Looks like he's got a little bit of... If you look at it from the right angle, just watch. So Bradshaw. What the hell? And then, you got Farouk and Bradshaw, the Acolytes. Previously stated, Jericho. Whole body here, just took the logos off the tights. And then this is a Rock torso and arms. Double slam APA heads. And Jericho lower body on Farouk. I think I only have one more new style BCA, so I'll do that one. This is a new style BCA Spike Dudley I made to go with my my Bubba Ray and Devon. You can hear the neck works. This is a Road to WrestleMania Jericho torso. Again, that Jericho gets a lot of use because it is a ridiculously good figure for parts. So this is a Jericho upper body. What spike head did I use? I think it was a Backlash spike with all gray pants. And these lower pants are from a Devon figure because I couldn't find a Bubba for cheap. So this is my BCA Spike Dudley. Now I have all three Dudley boys in BCA form. So little LSD for you. So now we get into the older style BCAs. I'd like to start it off with the Slammers. This was a Slammers Patriot. I went ahead and took the torso from, I want to say, a Steve Blackman. No, it wasn't a Steve Blackman. I think it was a Billy Gunn. I took the torso from a Billy Gunn, and I used the arms on Steve Blackman. These arms, I believe, came from a Triple H or a Hardcore Holly. Added a Kurt Angle elbow pad for, he wore one elbow pad, and God forbid I got one with Stars and Stripes, so why not use it? I made this with the Slammer's upper body and Slammer's head, Slammer's lower body, and the torso in that, like I stated. The head doesn't move, but I'll take it for what it is. It's a great figure, and he's full BCA. It looks great if you ask me, but I'm my own worst critic. I think I have I have the bases over there. So this is a new style BCA, or old style BCA Patriot converted from a slammer. As you can see, front and back. Keeping with the slammers, I have a fully customized BCA Brian Pillman. I want to do Dude Love, but I'm not sure how to do it, seeing as he never had a torso come out without the slammer body. I don't want to do a lot of paint, so you've got Slammers Brian Pillman head and lower body, Stomp Brian Pillman torso, and arms from a DOA skull. I tried to find something with white wrist tape and no pads, and the only thing I could find was Headbanger Mosh, and I didn't want to buy another Mosh just for the arms because the arms are way too massive for Pillman. I think it looks great, the arm-torso ratio. It worked out great. Everything works. Everything moves. The head doesn't move like always. Legs move. This is a Slammers conversion Brian Pillman. I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. Next up is a Bret Hart I made. I consider this to be the WCW Bret Hart because he's in all black. I'd put him on a base, but he's got no holes in his feet because this is a Series 2 Bret Hart lower body. Actually, Series 3. Why doesn't he have holes in his feet? Anyways, this Bret Hart, the head is from a Raw's War box set Bret Hart. The lower body is from a Series 2, actually. Series 2 Bret Hart. And the upper body is from a Series 3 Bret Hart. As you can see, it's all the way around. He does still have the helicopter waist and legs, so you can, just in case he needs to fly away. And then, this is my what I call the WCW Bret Hart. Or Montreal Screwjob. Either way. Bret fell. Next up, we have a quick Sandman head swap onto a Superstar Series 7 Steve Austin. Didn't do anything but switch the head. As you can see, arms work, torso works, legs work. This is a quick swap, just making Sandman into a BCA. Used a Jakks ECW Series 1 Sandman head. And there you go. Quick Sandman. I want to get a kendo stick for him. Actually, it's in the mail, so maybe I'll do an update once I have that. Next up is my BCA Custom Raven. This figure took a lot of time. To say the least, this figure took a lot of time. His legs are surgeried together. This is a Headbanger Thrasher torso, Mark Merrill arms, No Way Out Raven head, Austin upper legs, and then I did some surgery and added Draw's lower legs to the bottom of the jeans to make a more complete figure. As you can see, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. He can stand if I can get him to. There we go. There's Raven. He is a fully functional BCA. Got, his legs, arms, torso. The head doesn't move like always because it's a BCA, but yeah, it's Raven. Oh, and he's even got a little necklace on, which I thought was pretty cool because the torso had a necklace molded on. Next up, we have the tag. It's a tag team, actually. The tag team of Too Sexy Brian Christopher, Scott Too Hot Taylor, Too Much. This is the this is the 2-pack that came with Taka Michinoku Brian Christopher, also Best of '98 Brian Christopher. I bought an extra, and I took the upper body from Two Hardcore Hollies, I believe Signature Series 4 or 5 when he had the green on his tights, and then I took the head from Brian Christopher and glued it on, and I took the head from a Backlash Scotty Too Hottie, removed the mustache, and ended up with Scott Too Hot Taylor. It does say Too Sexy on both sides, on both of them, but like I said, have an imagination and I can look past it. I think they look great. They make for a great tag team. Another addition to a lackluster tag scene in the BCAs. Next up, we have more surgery, which is a Backlash Cane. There isn't much done to this. This is actually a pretty dope figure. This is actually my favorite BCA cane. All I did was he had 2 thumbs up hands. So on this hand, I went ahead and glued the thumb down, as you can see. So he's making a full fist over here. And then on this hand, I bought a slammer's cane, and I glued his glove on. I went ahead and made a nub under here, and then hollowed out the glove up into the wrist here, and hollowed it out with a drill. And then with the nub, I slipped the glove on and glued it on. So now my cane, because it's mankind, can fully give somebody a choke slam, even though he's like 2 feet tall compared to everybody else. He can give somebody a choke slam and not a thumb up their ass like he's Tommaso Ciampa. So this is my cane. He's not too much work done. I guess the hand, but I mean, it had to be done. It just had to be done. So, I mean, I could have given him head chopper action. Next up is by far my favorite BCA. It is a BCA D'Lo Brown with the Mattel chest protector added and glued on. If you ask me, this chest protector makes this figure 100% better. They used the Vader body, which, if you ask me, was a terrible, terrible choice. But giving him the thicker look compared to the other BCAs, it was a good choice on their part. Just if they could have done something with the arms, like use the Ahmed Johnson arms again, that may have been a better choice than giving him MMA gloves. But I will say, look, it clasps all the way in the back. He's got the chest protector that he was famous for in the Attitude Era. I paid like $13 for the D'Lo, but it's well worth it. This D'Lo is probably, this D'Lo was probably my favorite BCA of all time in the first place. But now that he's got the chest protector, and only thing that can make him better is if his arms could go out so he could shake his head a little bit. But this is a great figure. I love this figure. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite BCA. And next up is probably my favorite custom I did. This is a Mattel. Well, this is a Jakks with a Mattel belt. So I'll bring him in with the belt. This is a Jakks BCA Hardcore Holly, or Crash Holly rather. I have the scale for him in the room. I just didn't bring it with me. I did buy it. It cost me like $15 just for the scale, but it's a needed accessory when it comes to this stuff. So he's got his hat, as you can see, his hat, and then he's got this Mattel Hardcore title, which everyone knows that when you think of the Hardcore title, any real fan associates it with Crash Holly due to the 24/7 rule. Then you've got I used the Hardcore Holly lower body. I know this Hardcore Holly is really hard to find, but I got it in a lot with some other figures for like $20, so I couldn't beat that. And I really wanted to do Crash on pink, so that works out too. Because this is one of his most famous color schemes right here. His first figure would actually come out on this color scheme, so it's something I wanted to do. I used a Rulers of the Ring 2 Crash Holly head. I used a Ken Shamrock torso, Headbanger Mosh arms, acetoned the tattoo off, and then Backlash Series 5 Hardcore Holly lower body. I'm quite proud of this figure. I think that he was somebody that should have made it into BCA if they were going to start using real scan heads, because he did have a huge effect on the hardcore division, which is where they were taking. They came with weapons, for Christ's sake. I mean, the least they could do is give the man a BCA figure, but they didn't. So I went ahead and made my own, and I put them on different tights than my Hardcore Holly. I have the Backlash Series 3 Hardcore Holly on the yellow and blue, and so they don't match on purpose, because I want my Crash and my Hardcore to be independent of each other when they go out there in the Federation. So these are my customs. This concludes, I think for sure this time, I think this concludes the BCA portion of our journey. I do still have some old San Francisco ECWs to uncard, so it's not the last of me, but I think this is the last of me with BCAs. By the way, if you're looking for belts for your BCAs, the Mattel Elite belts from Ringside Collectibles. This is the hardcore title, and as you can see, they're in really good scale with the figures. They fit well. You can see it fits well in the back. See the title on there. It looks really good. I'm pretty happy with it. But anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope the people that have been asking for a while are satisfied with the results. Like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you want to see anything else. It's been a fun ride, guys. See you next time.